My name's Rob Caston. My son Mason has been coming here for about a year and a half. He plays youth football for the Newbury Park Steelers, and he attends Oaks Christian Middle School, where he plays basketball and runs track. So Mason's goals are primarily to improve speed and agility and his lateral movement and just overall athleticism and strength. Mason is on the smaller side for his age, so it's critical for him that he compensate for his lack of size with his speed and strength. There's a number of different reasons why we bring him here. I think that if I start with the culture here, it's really unique in the sense that, for one, depending on the day that I bring Mason in here, he could be training next to NFL players. He could be training next to an NBA player or Major League Baseball players. And I think that that's really important for, even though he's not doing the same workouts that those guys are doing, he's able to see how guys that play at the highest level, how do they train? And what's their work ethic like? And what's their demeanor like when they train? And I think that it's really imperative for a young athlete to have a vision of what that looks like. And I say it's a unique opportunity because I don't know anywhere else that a 13-year-old could go and train next to NFL players who he idolizes and looks up to. Secondly, when it comes to it from the training aspect, what I really love about Mason training here is that it's not just walking in the door and doing the prescribed workout, it's seeing results. And so not only does Lucas put them through the workout, but it's you see the results. And what I mean by that is this: every day when they're doing sprints, they're timed. He tests them in a vertical jump, and so there's direct results that are seen as a result of their hard work. And so Mason knows that every day he comes in here, he has a goal that he's working for. And that goal generally is to have a PR on one of his sprints. And so I think that when you have a goal in mind and you have a purpose of when you enter that gym, you have something that you're striving to work towards, I think that it changes your perspective. I think that it changes how hard you work, even when you're not, it may be one of those days where you're not feeling good, or it's not going to be your best day. He's still trying to work towards that PR. And so that's what I really like. And it's more than just saying, hey, we'll get your kid faster or stronger. We actually see it. And so from the time we came in the gym until now, there has been significant increases in his speed. And so that, I think, is really important, to be able to see the results. So it's not just talking about it, there's actually proof that it works. The other aspect to me is I was a Division I sprinter, and I was also a Division I football player. And so I immediately recognized that Lucas has the unique ability to teach sprint mechanics and has a good understanding of what it takes to get faster. Lucas himself was also a collegiate football player and has been a strength coach at the college level, and it shows. And I think that it's a great opportunity for my son to be able to work with somebody who has the knowledge that Lucas has. And it's rare to find somebody who can teach proper sprint mechanics and what does it take to get faster. The one thing that I do notice, and I mention this to Lucas all the time, is like, I notice he's always got something new, which to me says a lot about somebody, because it's easy to say, hey, I'm doing pretty well, I'm pretty successful, so I'm okay. As opposed to what Lucas does, he's always trying to get better. And every time I come in here, it seems like he's got a new piece of equipment. There's something different that he's trying to do, which I love, because to me, that tells me that he always wants to get better. And so he practices what he preaches. And then the environment in here, it's a positive environment. It's a place where kids want to be. It's fun. My son Mason, he loves to come in here. I don't ever have to talk him into coming in here to work out. He wants to be here. And to me, I think that's the biggest battle right there. And I think as a parent, and you see that your child wants to go work to get better, that's a great thing. That you won. And so I think that's what Lucas has been able to create here and what makes this a special place. Lucas, his ability to, it's one thing to have the knowledge base that he does, but then he also has this special ability to communicate with kids. And I'm also a youth football coach. And a lot of times I will have ideas and things that I want to do on the football field, and I realize and they're not getting it, and I'm not communicating it to them properly. And so what I've noticed here with Lucas is that he really has the ability to communicate what needs to happen to these kids in a way that they understand. And because talking to kids is not like talking to adults. And so you really have to figure out a way to communicate that to the kids in a way they're going to understand, and it's going to make sense to them so that they can do what Lucas needs them to do to progress. I really like that there is a focus in here on technique over weights or technique over making progress. Mason's been in here for over a year, and I'm just now starting to see where they're starting to add some weights to what he's doing, because it took that long for him to get the technique right. And Lucas spends a lot of time with these kids going over proper form and proper technique before they start moving on to putting more weight on the bar, which is obviously very important to avoid injury, especially with kids.